back to Cosplay Coursework, a segment where I get my coursework done and I try to do something productive in my free time. Cosplay. Now we are on week 4. This week was actually relatively easy considering the fact that next week is our last week before we have 2 weeks half term. So this week was, in my eyes, relatively easy because we were just whacking out dances that we needed to do. But before we get into that, let's just settle down on the cosplay stuff. And I need to say thank you. Thank you so much for the... I don't know how to emphasize it. Thank you so much for the love. Yeah, the love. Thank you. 30k on TikTok. What the fuck? I'm just a guy. I'm just kidding. But in today's video, we will be cosplaying as, drumroll please, Captain Curly from Mouthwashing. But yeah, Mouthwashing is a horror game. It came out back in like October 2024. And since then, it's had a really big increase of fandom. It was the reason why the song by Imogen... Oh no, what's her last name? Please, editor Ethan, help me out. Oh, the song Headlock. Play it. 2 seconds, because copyright. There we go. Now, there isn't much that I can link between the game Mouthwashing and Beauty and the Beast, but there is this. There is that. But let's get into it. No, I do not need to do contacts this time, mostly because that's my fault. I didn't let the blue eye contact soak The
woman was too stunned to speak.
I will be having a hospital appointment after this. I have to let contacts soak for 8 hours before you use them straight out the packet. And I use Pinky Paradise, I think that's what they're called, and then TTDI. I'm not doing well on getting myself sponsored by these two brands, but they're here. And I've only used Pinky Paradise so far. I've literally got the tie-dye. Give me 2 seconds, let me show you the packaging. This is them. I literally received it yesterday. I haven't opened any of these, but I know that I needed to buy some contacts for a concert that I'm going to in April. Look at that. There's 4 pairs in here. You get a contact case for each of them. This is not sponsored, by the way. I just want to reiterate that. This is not sponsored. I'm doing this. I need to get on with my coursework. What the hell am I yapping on about? So without further ado, Without further ado, much ado about nothing, Shakespeare. How about that? Without further ado, Pitbull impression. I was wearing a hat for a reason. But I mean, if they're ever casting for live action Scooby-Doo again. Shaggy, Pitbull impression. Also, I just want to say, this time around, I will be potentially mentioning more of the products I'm using. Thanks, Emily. Yeah, you're getting a shout out. So this is the product that I do most of my foundation. I'm done. This is the last episode ever. So this is the foundation that I use. It's not really foundation. It's a super based color corrector skin base. Emily, get a notepad and pen out. You wanted this. Get a notepad and pen out. Open the Beauty Bay app up. Open Amazon up. Go to Sephora. I don't know. Now, Monday was pretty easy again for me because it was just running over the scene right before the mob song. And then the last 2 scenes before like the official ending, so like Gaston's death and like the Beast transforming. So I was only needed for kind of just being there and then saying like 2 words. One in the mob song and then one just before that. I was also kind of needed movement wise as like kind of escorting Belle's father off. Maurice, there we go. Maurice! But whenever I'm not like officially needed for like big stuff, I'm always normally off stage with someone rehearsing over lines. Like we'd normally go back and forth. I can't remember off the top of my head because we've done so much this week. I can't remember the top of my head who I was doing it with Monday. I think it might have been Connor, who was Maurice. But we were just kind of going over lines back and forth. So when he needed to like go over his lines, I would B and whoever he's talking to. It's mostly Belle. And then he did the same back with me with like Gaston. I swear it was Connor. I might be going crazy. I might be turning into Greg Heffley's dad. But normally I do that just because it benefits like both of us, if that makes sense. Like it's just beneficial, plus it just helps with memorizing lines. So yeah, Monday was just going over that. I wasn't really giving any huge advice. Mostly just to kind of hype up the crowd of like villagers, because obviously we're just about to go and like raid the beast's castle. Plus like no one was there, so it was a little bit awkward for me to kind of be like, yeah, come on, because I'm talking to no one. But just adding that enthusiasm when the time does come, and just yeah, just learning lines. So I think my strengths for that day were just taking my own rehearsal into my own hands when I wasn't needed, which is something that I have increasingly gotten better with, because there have been times in the past where I have been told to just go and do free time rehearsal, and I've just kind of sat there not really knowing what to do with myself. So that is something that I'm really proud of, that I've improved. It's not really a weakness, but the only thing that I do feel like I just need to take away from Monday is just like learning lines completely afar. Like I think I'm already good at that, but it's just being at 110% rather than being at like 100%. You'd always be better to be certain than not so certain, if that makes sense. And with foundation down, we move on to Tuesday. Now Tuesday was pretty full out, I would say, mostly because we were just bombing through Be Our Guest. We were doing the entire ending bit. I personally think that was a really good call, to just bomb out the ending bit, because it means that like we know how it ends. We know that there's just this little bit of section in between here and here that we just gotta fill. So yeah, I think bombing through that was really good. It was the ending bit after I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Play the little section, Ethan, please. It was that section and all the way to the ending. So there was like a kick line involved right at the very end. And a lot of the movements were very toy soldier again. And very much like waiter, servant-esque. Do you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of like the Polar Express when they're singing like the hot chocolate stuff. It just reminded me of that a little bit. Weird comparison, but it's my coursework, leave me be. Only thing that I would say I've got to improve that lesson, like specifically, more or less is footwork. I am terrible at footwork because, well, no, let's not lie, Ethan. I'm good at it when we're learning it slowly. I'm just slow. I think Hayley already knows that a little bit. But the one thing that I do need to like take on, like I said, is my footwork. One thing that I'd say is my strength from that lesson was I was keeping up as much energy as I could for that day, and I was really proud of myself because I wasn't feeling too well. I don't think I sat out during that lesson, so I'm proud of that. But I am aware that when shit hits the fan, I can sit out. But footwork needs improving. There was one section that we do that, then like a spin. It's just because I put my feet so closely together that I just look like I'm tumbling. So I just need to work on that. And now with eyeshadow shaving down, we are moving on to Wednesday. I actually wasn't needed for Wednesday until after 1 o'clock for singing. So during the time that I wasn't at school and college learning, I was at home listening through the songs that we were about to rehearse in our singing lessons. So we were going to do the Gaston and Mob song, and in the actual singing lesson we did get through them, and we got through them relatively with ease, mostly because I'm in both those songs. I have to learn those songs anyway, so I just kind of like pre-prompted myself to learn them anyway. I see that as a win personally. So yeah, I was just learning through that. Wait, give me 2 seconds. So I had to get my makeup box out because I was not going to be using a brush for my under eye. I'm using like a little... I'm just using a little pad under my eye to kind of just blend this out. Oh my god. La 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 la. La 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 la. But yeah, when the singing lesson did happen, it was kind of getting... First of all, we did a run through Gaston, which I knew off by heart already. I was singing it with a little bit of energy. Not a little bit, I was singing with quite a bit of energy. I was really proud of my preparation for that lesson, to be completely honest with you. I'm normally pretty much prepared for every lesson, but that specific lesson, I was like, I know what I'm doing. I know what I need to do. Even the harmonies, I kind of assumed the harmonies, and I got it correct, so I need to stop blocking my face. Yay! When we did go over harmonies, Liz took us over to the piano, we ran through them. It was super easy because there aren't that many harmonies in Gaston besides like when everyone sings together for like 2 words, and then it's just everyone singing the same melody. Just like at different pitches? Pitches, yeah. It was just everyone singing at different pitches. So, relatively easy. Then after that we then moved on to Gaston Reprise, super easy. I was doing the upper harmony right at the end, Mason and Caden are doing down there. I assumed it anyway, so it worked out in the end anyway, and then after that we then moved on to Mob Song. Now this was the one that not many people had prepared. Me, Mason and Caden had already prepared. I think Folu did as well because he has a big chunk of lyrics right at the beginning, so we were all kind of prepared. I'm pretty sure that Ellie and Evie were as well, because I mean, we'd been in the lessons for the Mob Song on the Monday for the acting, so we kind of sang through that song anyway, so we were already kind of on top already. So when we did get to running through the Mob Song, it was the same sort of thing: run through it once, go to the piano, learn harmonies, then run through it again. Everyone just seemed to be a little low on energy. I don't mean to clock here. Everyone just seemed to be on a very much low for this lesson. Like the second lesson where we learned the Mob Song. I'm pretty sure just people were tired. But I personally think the Mob Song is such a good song. Like when I first listened to it at the beginning of term, because keep in mind, I haven't actually listened to that song ever. I only watched Beauty and the Beast once when I was a kid. Because I never had the luxury of owning the VHSs, because my household was a VHS household. We had all the Disney films beside like Brave, Princess and the Frog, like Mulan. And they were all the kind of ones that like, if we ever did get, they were a luxury to watch. If they were ever on like the ITV or BBC during like Sunday night movie, it was a luxury to watch. So yeah, when I did listen to that song for the first time, the key change. Goosebumps! Goosebumps! With that lesson, I would say my strength is just knowing what I did. Just knowing, going straight in there, singing passionately, and in character as well. That was my biggest strength for that lesson. Weakness-wise, I would just say figuring out accents again. Because Liz did come over to me and was like, do you really know what you're going to be doing accent-wise? And I was like, I do have a rough idea, but like, I just kind of need to solidify that idea, I guess. Because I get nervous about it a little bit, just a little bit. And now with concealer down, we move on to Thursday. Sorry, Emily, I forgot that you're here. Revolution palette for the eyeshadow. And then, where's my concealer gone? I think this is it. P.S. It's from Primark, darling. Go to Primark. Now, Captain Curly is blonde, and because blonde fits into the category of like whites and yellows, I have to use face paint for his beard because blonde hair on someone's face does not show up that well. So for it to look somewhat visible and animated, because it's a game, I use Mehron. So Thursday was relatively easy. We were just kind of whacking through as much choreography as we could for Be Our Guest before we had to leave for our trip to Hadestown. Thank you so much to the entire MT department of teachers for sorting that out. Thank you. It was a phenomenal show. Please go see it. One of the main things was sorting out the ensemble section stuff, because the feature dancers have already have so much choreography, and they're doing like phenomenal at it. Like they have like a whole like, I think it's like waltz, salsa, tango, apple tango, and they're also doing like tap, and then the ensemble come on, and then we completely fuck up. I'm joking, we are doing as well as we can, especially considering the fact that we were bombing through so much choreography, and I'm happy that I picked up so much of it, considering that like Tuesday, like as I said, I was a little bit behind, just a little bit behind, not too much. So I'm just comparing this colour to the wig that I'm using. Look like I'm about to paint like the Mona Lisa or something. So the section that we did get up to was the end of Mrs. Potts section. Just before that we had gone through the end of the tap section, walking on with napkins, doing like this whole like impressive like Hayley help me, like, and it would kind of go like boom, 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 boom. I need to get my terminology correct before I even do any more of this. We've got our colour down now. We just mixed a little bit of the yellow and the white together. So we're just going to now, as they say in Drag Race, paint the mug. The one bit of choreography that I just need to get my arse in gear, as they say, is the Mrs. Potts section, in all honesty. That figuring out the rest of the choreography for the bit just before, and then just knowing where I am, because what I do, and it's a bit of a habit. When I'm in the round, I move in a straight line. I don't move in a curve, because we're dancing in a circle. I'm moving in a straight line, so I end up bumping into people. Hayley kind of clocks me, can't I? Thank you, Hayley, but I know you were clocking me. So that's something I gotta work on. Sorry about that. I did the bit off camera. Can't really see it, but there were all like lines. I just kind of need to like texturize it in a way. Like add like shades of dark and white in it now. Now with the beard down, we move on to Friday. Now I wasn't in Friday, again, if you couldn't tell, because I injured myself travelling back from Hadestown. Like I had, my kneecap went in and out. I have a condition, so it happens regularly. But because it was still hurting on the Friday, I had to call in. So what I actually did that day was I was running over my lines again. I was running over my songs, Mob Song and Gaston Reprise. Just waiting for the videos to pop up if anything did happen on the Friday, and I found out that they did run through dance stuff. So I just need to pick up from there and then work out all the stuff that I've said this week that I need to work on and work on it. It's that simple, it really is. I had scalped Prince Charming from Shrek for this wig. I actually got this wig commissioned from the company Coolia Wigs. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, but I got this commissioned from them back in, I want to say December or January, and it has arrived now, and it's really, really stunning. Look at that glued hairline and the sideburns. Look at that. Stunning! I'm not even gonna film how long it takes me to put this wig on, because you're gonna see me look like an absolute twat. So I got a bit carried away. I added in a moustache. I also added in a bit of green because it was giving too much yellow, so I had added in a little bit of like a greeny brown just to kind of make it look a little bit more better. And it's working. It is a trust the process situation. I think that's good. I think we've gotten somewhere. I'm still got a tiny head, but we're working on it. Has Prince Charming got a twin? Ooh, cherry flavour. Want to taste? I'm now gonna get into costume. I will just say that the patch, the Pony Express patch, I have not put it onto the suit yet. Because I kind of don't want to then put it through the wash and then the patch get damaged. So like, Won't see that, but the shirt and the boiler suit is done. Made the shirt myself, got the boiler suit commissioned, mostly because I wanted it to look a little bit more accurate. And I wanted something that actually would be thicker material, because apparently loads of the boiler suits off Amazon are really thin. I don't want a breeze going up my leg while I'm walking through Comic Con. I want something that just feels durable and warm. Thanks. There we go. It's a bit slouched down. I got my belt on. Got this, wigs on, shirts on. Badge is not, but like I said, can't really put it on right now. Thank you so much for watching episode 2, week 4 of Cosplay Coursework. This one wasn't as funny, I understand that. I'm completely sorry, but I just kind of just wanted to get my coursework done and get this done. So I apologize. But thank you so much. Love you all. So the coursework people who are watching this, I hope you had fun. Thank you.